Imagine a gate so important that millions of people waited for its opening and its sealing was predicted by ancient prophets. A gate that represents prophecy, hope, and divine intervention in addition to being a tangible landmark. There is a gate in the center of Jerusalem that has been closed for generations, yet it has a legend that transcends both time and religion. We're going to explore the intriguing story of this locked gate today and find out why it's thought that only Jesus Christ can pass through it. Come along with me as we explore a world of prophecy, history, and faith as we solve the riddle of the gate that a king sealed and that is waiting for its last entry in the annals of time. To fully comprehend the sealed gate, we must first go back in time through historical corridors. The gate under discussion is none other than Jerusalem's Eastern Gate, commonly referred to as the Golden Gate. In the ancient city of Jerusalem, this gate was tactically and religiously extremely important. However, why was it sealed, and who was responsible for this? The narrative takes place in the 16th century, under the reign of Ottoman Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent. Suleiman ordered the gate to be sealed in a calculated decision that has fascinated Christian theologians and historians alike. This was not solely an architectural or defensive choice. It was closely entwined with the era's predictions and religious beliefs. There was more involved in sealing the gate than merely blocking off a physical path. It was an act that reverberated throughout history, touching on the holy beliefs and declarations of Muslims, Christians, and Jews alike. This deed acquired prophetic significance for Christians, who saw it as a realization of biblical prophecy and a signpost to future events predicted by Christian eschatology. The layers of this historical event's significance become apparent as we learn more about it. The locked gate is more than just a historical artifact. It is a symbol connecting faith, prophecy, and history. We'll examine the prophecy and its fulfillment in the following section, providing insight into how Christians interpret this historical act. After examining the Eastern Gate's historical sealing, we now move on to the event's prophetic aspects. The closing of the gate is more than simply a historical footnote. Biblical prophecy is closely linked to it, especially in the Christian tradition. The relevant prophecy can be found in Ezekiel 44, verse 1, 3 in the book of Ezekiel. Here, the Lord, the God of Israel, has entered via a gate, which is why the prophet Ezekiel says it should remain closed. The prophecy states that this gate will stay closed save for the prince. This prince represents Jesus Christ, the only one who has played a special role in the history of salvation for Christians. Closing a physical path was only one aspect of the gate's sealing. It was an act that reverberated throughout history, touching on the holy beliefs and declarations of Muslims, Christians, and Jews alike. This deed acquired prophetic significance for Christians, who saw it as a realization of biblical prophecy and a signpost to future events predicted by Christian eschatology. The layers of this historical event's significance become apparent as we learn more about it. The locked gate is more than just a historical artifact. It is a symbol connecting faith, prophecy, and history. We'll examine the prophecy and its fulfillment in the following section, providing insight into how Christians interpret this historical act. After discussing the historical sealing of the Eastern Gate, we now discuss the event's prophetic significance. The closing of the gate is more than simply a historical footnote. Biblical prophecy is closely linked to it, especially in the Christian tradition. The relevant prophecy can be found in Ezekiel 44, verse 1, 3 in the book of Ezekiel. The Lord, the God of Israel, has entered through this gate, which is why the prophet Ezekiel mentions it being kept shut. The prophecy states that this gate must stay closed and should only be opened by the prince. This prince represents Jesus Christ, the only one who has played a special role in the history of salvation for Christians. Having covered the prophecy and its historical fulfillment, we now go to a crucial area of our conversation: Jesus' relationship with the Eastern Gate. Grasp the entire significance of the prophecy in Christian theology, and its depth requires a grasp of this relationship. In Christian faith, Jesus Christ is viewed as both the realization of the spiritual truths that the Old Testament prophecies symbolize and the fulfillment of those prophecies. The significance of the locked gate, as predicted by Ezekiel, becomes evident when considering the life and mission of Jesus. As expressed throughout the New Testament, especially in John 14:6, where Jesus declares, "I am the way, the truth, and the life," It reflects the one and only route to redemption that he offers. I am the only path that leads to the Father. Therefore, the act of sealing the gate symbolizes more than just a historical occurrence. It also represents the Christian idea that Jesus is the only one who can act as a mediator between God and humanity. The expectation of the second coming of Jesus adds to this image. Many Christians believe that Jesus' ultimate opening of the sealed gate will mark the completion of God's plan for salvation and the ultimate foundation of his kingdom. It is crucial to comprehend the shut gate's larger historical and spiritual implications. Historically, Jerusalem, a city at the center of multiple major religions, has had an important place in the landscape represented by this gate. It has witnessed many significant events over the ages, all of which have added layers to its complex web of meaning. From a theological perspective, the physically closed gate transcends to represent both human expectation and divine promise. It stands for the point where faith, history, and prophecy converge in Christian theology. It acts as a focus for eschatological aspirations, particularly those related to Christ's second coming, and serves as a concrete reminder of the prophetic traditions that form the basis of Christian belief. Thus, this gate is more than simply an interesting piece of history. It is a living symbol that never fails to uplift, challenge, and spark discussion among academics and believers alike. It serves as evidence of the tenacity of faith and the indisputable connection between the material and the spiritual in religious philosophy. To sum up, we have traveled through the domains of history, prophecy, and theology as we have explored the tale of the locked Eastern Gate. As we've seen, the simple act of sealing a gate in Jerusalem has deep symbolic meaning for Christians and is connected to ancient predictions. This gate is a potent reminder of the long-awaited realization of heavenly promises, as well as the special role that Jesus played in the history of Christian salvation. We are reminded of the depth and complexity of religious symbolism and its capacity to communicate significant spiritual truths when we consider this intriguing interaction of occurrences and beliefs. For millions of people worldwide, the locked gate of Jerusalem is more than simply a physical building. It is a symbol of hope, expectancy, and faith. I appreciate you coming along as we examine the significance of the locked Eastern Gate. If you enjoyed this historical and religious journey, please like, share, and subscribe for more posts like this. Your participation enables these tales to come to life and reach a larger audience. I urge you to learn more about the subjects we've covered. Consider the lessons and symbolism in your own life. Please feel free to share your ideas and observations in the comment section below. If you enjoy our content and want to support us, click on the Super Thanks button below. Your Super Thanks is not just a donation, it is a blessing that supports our mission to share the transformative journey of Jesus.